Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at one of the weirder magic items out of the Dungeon Master's Guide for AD&D from the DMG, the Wand of Wonder. I'm taking a look at this item at the request of a couple of different viewers, and I myself have always found the Wand of Wonder very interesting. I've never actually had a player character who had a Wand of Wonder. Went through my characters a little bit in prep for this video because I was trying to think of one I had that had gotten a wand at some point. I didn't have any. I've given out a few over the years, but not a bunch. But I played with a player. I DM'd him, and I played in games with him under other DMs who did have a Wand of Wonder and who used it pretty ingeniously. So we're going to talk a little bit about the wand's powers itself, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how I saw it used in games I was a player in and that I was also DMing. Also, I just want to remind everybody, subscribers, thank you. I appreciate everybody who's subscribing. My patrons, thank you. I really appreciate your support. I'm trying to grow both. So if you haven't subscribed or you know someone who's been on the fence, have them come on in. We talk about games here a lot. I try to cover a variety of games as I have more time to research games. I try to do other topics than AD&D and Traveler. I did Gamma World for the last couple of weeks, and I'm looking at some others that I want, but those take more time because I have to sit down and actually read up the system. In some cases, like Alternity, it's a system I haven't played in over 20 years. I loved Alternity when it was out. I played the heck out of it. I ran some open tables with it at a game store I used to be associated with. It was a fun game. And it died around 2000, and that was it. So there will be more games forthcoming. Just right now, time's been a bit of a constraint, so I'm sticking with what I know best, which is AD&D and Traveler. So today, Wand of Wonder and AD&D. Subscribers, please subscribe. Patrons, thank you for being patrons. Anybody who wants to be a Patreon, the link is below. Take a look at it. But back to the topic at hand. From the Dungeon Master Guide, the Wand of Wonder. So the Wand of Wonder from the DMG. An interesting magic item. I actually knew some DMs that would not allow a Wand of Wonder into their game. I kind of never understood that. The wand could bring some interesting role-playing dynamics to your table. But that old club I was at, I knew of at least 2 DMs who would not allow players to bring in a Wand of Wonder. As a wand, it can have anywhere from 0 to 100 charges. 0, of course, is no longer magical, but it can have up to 100 charges when it's found. And here is the description of it. It's a strange and unpredictable device which will generate any number of strange effects randomly each time it is used. The usual effects are shown on the table below, but you may alter these for any and all wands in your campaign as you see fit. Although it's recommended you follow the pattern shown. The functions of the wand are, and then it's a function of percentage dice to throw it. I'm going to read through each effect and talk a little bit about what the various effects did, and I think some of the reasons that some DMs didn't want this in their table. So on a 1 through a 10 on percentage dice, you slow the creature pointed at for 1 turn. It's a slow spell. 11 through 18 deludes the wielder for 1 round into believing the wand function is indicated by a second die roll. So if you roll the 11 to 18, you don't tell the the wand holder, you just throw it again. And if you throw a 1 through 10, he thinks the creature he is pointed at has been slowed. He's deluded for 1 round and thinks that guy is slowed. So when the guy comes up and hits him at normal speed, he's surprised. 19 through 25, gust of wind, double force of spell. Could be interesting depending on the situation. 26 through 30, stinking cloud at 30-foot range. I saw that pop up one time. That was pretty funny. 31 through 33, heavy rain falls for 1 round in 6-inch radius of the wand wielder. 34 through 36, summon rhino, elephant, or mouse. The rhino is in the second roll of 1 through 25. The elephant's 26 through 50, or the mouse 51 through 00. I once saw a hallway of charging orcs stopped by a summoned rhino. The wand wielder, it was Nasty Nick, the gnome fighter illusionist that was in our game, who was known to be rather whimsical. He's the guy that had the Wand of Wonder. He pointed it down the hallway and let go, hoping, I'm sure, for the lightning bolt, but instead got the summoned rhino, and a rhino charged down the hallway. 37 through 46, you get a lightning bolt as a wand, 5 feet wide by 70 feet long. And as the wand, it does 6 dice, 6 damage. So now we come to 47 through 49. A stream of 600 large butterflies pour forth and flutter around for 2 rounds, binding everyone, including the wielder. We get this out to about a 10-foot radius, but it was a fun one. I saw that effect one time. It was actually not on Nasty Nick. He did not roll it. There was another player I had that had one. And back in the early 80s, I played a lot of games where I inherited players from other games, whether they were ongoing or the game had been abandoned, so I just take the character in. So I did DM a fair amount of Wands of Wonder. I only gave out 1 or 2. On a 50 through 54, you enlarge the target if it's within 60 feet of the wand. That could be a funny effect if it happened, because enlarge would double its size. That could be a bad thing if they're opposed to you, but it could be funny. 54 through 58 is darkness in a 3-inch diameter hemisphere at 30-inch centered distance from the wand. So it's over there. You're standing on the edge of it when it pops up. 59 through 62, grass grows in the area of 16 inches before the wand, or grass existing there grows 10 times its normal size. I actually saw this effect come up a few different times. Nasty Nick had it come up at least once, and I saw it 1 or 2 times in other games I was DMing. 63 through 65, vanish any non-living object up to 1,000 pounds mass and up to 30 cubic feet in size. The object is ethereal, as the vanish spell. So that's pretty powerful. 66 through 69, diminish the wand wielder to 1/12 height. That could actually be an advantage if you're looking to get away from a fight. And if you're diminished, you probably do want to get away from the fight. So that could be pretty interesting. 70 through 79, fireball as wand. Also a fairly common one that would pop up. And the way I usually did the wand is I would roll it behind the screen because of the delusion possibility. I would throw the roll, but I would then not put my hand behind the screen, and I'd ask somebody to witness the roll as long as I didn't have to deal with anything like the delusion or anything. That way they knew I was being honest, and we got some fun results. 80 through 84, invisibility covers the wand wielder. I saw that, I think, once. 85 through 87, leaves grow from target if in 66 inches, so 60 feet of the wand. 88 through 90, 10 to 40 gems of 1 gold piece base value shoot forth in a 30-foot long stream, causing 1 hit point of damage to any creature in the path. Roll 5 die 4 for the number of hits. We actually had some fun with this because we would allow the 10 to 40. We would scramble around like kids after a piñata gets split open, scrambling to grab the gems because the gems had actual value. They stayed after the wand released them. 91 through 97, shimmering colors dance and play over a 40 by 30 foot area in front of the wand. Creatures therein are blinded for 1 to 6 rounds. Could be very, very powerful. 98 through 100, flesh to stone, or reverse if the target is stone, if the target is within 6 inches. The wand uses 1 charge per function, may not be recharged. Where applicable, saving throws should be made. I actually was sitting at the game. We had a player who was turned to stone, I think by a cockatrice. We were about 5th to 7th level. He was turned to stone. We did not know what to do with him. We were thinking we were going to have to leave him. The flesh to stone, or reverse if the target is stone, so stone to flesh. Nasty Nick, I was a player in this group, playing a magic user. I was about a 7th level MU. I did not have any kind of way to turn anybody back from stone to flesh. Nasty Nick, realizing we were going to have to abandon this guy anyway and just leave him where he was, said out of the heck with it without even consulting with the group, told the DM, I pull out my Wand of Wonder and I point it and I fire. And the DM, laughing, had him roll it out in front of all of us. And God is my witness, he threw a 98. The creature that had, or the player character that had been turned to stone was turned back to flesh and saved. So I've actually seen this used exactly as the wielder wanted, exactly once. And that was when he was trying for a flesh to stone, threw the roll in front of us, and we all saw it come up the number he needed. So the Wand of Wonder by itself is a pretty darned interesting magic item. You can alter this a little bit. You can change around some of the effects. Kind of like a deck of many things. The wand can be pretty interesting if you do that. You can go ahead and just change out some of these. I've seen 1 or 2, and I think there were some Dragon articles that had alternate Wands of Wonder if you really wanted to do that. But as I said, they were never an item I really gave out a lot. I'm not really sure why. I never minded the Wand of Wonder, and I would DM it. with no problem. If somebody had one, I would allow it at my table. I think it might have just been that there were enough Wands of Wonder wandering around in our campaign, no pun intended, that I didn't feel I needed to add any more. Could be other reasons I've long since forgotten. I have no objection to giving out a Wand of Wonder currently. So there you have it. It's just a brief look at a pretty interesting magic item, the Wand of Wonder. I think this guy is worth 6,000 experience points upon finding it. We do give out experience points in my game for finding magic items. Wand of Wonder, 6,000 experience points. It's worth 10,000 gold pieces if sold. So a pretty good find for anybody, especially if, as I said, the game I was in, or if you give it out in a 4th to 6th level game, for instance, 6,000 for a magic item is pretty heavy payday. So that's all I've got to say today from page 121 about the wondrous Wand of Wonder. Let me know some experiences you've had with the wand, some funny stories or some tragic stories. Both could happen. And that's all I've got today from page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you next time.